Mastering Business English, Global Skills for Professional Success. Unlock the power of business English for non-native speakers with our comprehensive podcast course. Learn essential communication skills for meetings, emails, networking, and presentations to boost your professional success. Improve fluency, avoid common mistakes, and master the language of the global business world. Perfect for professionals aiming to thrive in international environments. Introduction to Business English. Importance of Business English in the global workplace. Hello, and welcome to the podcast. I'm Sam, your guide to mastering the skills you need to succeed in the global workplace. In this first lesson, we'll explore why Business English is so important for professionals worldwide. Have you ever felt unsure about how to introduce yourself in a meeting, draft a professional email, or make small talk during networking events? If so, you're not alone and you're in the right place. This course is designed to help you overcome these challenges and build your confidence step by step. Today's session will cover 3 key topics. The benefits of improving your business English. Common challenges faced by non-native speakers. What this course will teach you and how it's structured. The benefits of business English. Let's start with why business English matters. In today's world, English is the dominant language of business. Whether you're working in finance, IT, healthcare, or hospitality, you'll often need to communicate with colleagues, clients, or partners from different parts of the world. Imagine you're on a video call with colleagues from the US, India, and Germany. You need to present your ideas clearly and confidently. Having strong business English skills ensures you're understood and that your ideas are taken seriously. Key benefits. Career advancement. Proficiency in business English can set you apart from your peers. Many employers prioritize candidates who can communicate effectively in English. Confidence in communication. When you can express yourself clearly, you'll feel more confident in meetings, presentations, and everyday interactions. Opportunities for global collaboration. Strong communication skills open doors to working with international clients, participating in global projects, and even traveling for work. Real-life story. Maria, a project manager from Spain, shared her experience. Initially, she struggled to lead meetings in English. But after improving her business English, she successfully managed a project for US clients, earning her a leadership award and a promotion. Stories like Maria's show how mastering this skill can truly transform your career. Common challenges faced by non-native speakers. While the benefits are clear, the journey isn't always easy. Let's talk about the most common challenges non-native speakers face when communicating in English. Using the right tone. Business communication requires the perfect balance of professionalism and approachability. Many non-native speakers find it challenging to adjust their tone depending on the situation. Grammar and vocabulary issues. Small grammar mistakes or incorrect word choices can lead to misunderstandings. For example, saying please revert instead of please respond can confuse native speakers. Fluency and pronunciation. Speaking fluently during meetings or presentations can be intimidating, especially if you're worried about your pronunciation. Reassurance. These challenges are completely normal. The good news is that they can be overcome with practice and targeted learning strategies, which we'll cover throughout this course. Course objectives. In this course, we'll focus on building practical skills you can use immediately. Here's what you'll learn. Participating in meetings and giving presentations. Learn how to express your ideas clearly, answer questions confidently, and use professional vocabulary. Writing clear and professional emails. Master the art of structuring your emails, using proper greetings, and avoiding common mistakes. Networking and small talk. Build confidence in introducing yourself, making connections, and engaging in casual yet professional conversations. Avoiding common grammar and vocabulary mistakes. Identify and fix frequent errors that can impact your communication. Interactive element, icebreaker activity. Now, let's try a quick activity to reflect on your personal communication goals. Here's your task. Think about the one aspect of business English that challenges you the most. Is it writing emails, speaking fluently, or maybe understanding formal versus informal tone? Share your thoughts in the comments section or jot them down in a notebook. I'll read some of your responses in the next episode to ensure this course addresses your real challenges. Understanding tone and formality. Topics: the difference between formal, semi-formal, and informal tones. Exercise: analyze and rewrite sentences to fit different tones. Now, we're moving on to a critical skill that impacts every aspect of business communication: understanding tone and formality. Today, we'll dive into the differences between formal, semi-formal, and informal tones. Practical examples of how tone affects your message. An exercise to help you rewrite sentences for different tones. What is tone and why does it matter? Tone refers to how your message comes across to your audience. It's not just what you say but how you say it. In business, the right tone ensures that your message is clear, professional, and appropriate for the situation. Key point: using the wrong tone can create misunderstandings, damage relationships, or make you seem unprofessional. Example: formal: we would like to request your feedback on the recent report. Informal: hey, let us know what you think about the report. Formal, semi-formal, and informal tones. Formal tone. When to use: business proposals, official letters, communicating with higher UPS or clients. Characteristics: polite and respectful language. Avoids contractions, example cannot instead of can't. Uses full sentences and formal greetings. Example: original: send me the report ASAP. Formal: could you please send me the report at your earliest convenience. Semi-formal tone. When to use: internal communication with colleagues, team updates, casual presentations. Characteristics: polite but less rigid. May use contractions and simpler vocabulary. Example: original: I need your help with the presentation. Semi-formal: can you help me with the presentation. Informal tone. When to use: casual chats with co-workers, team bonding, or creative brainstorming sessions. Characteristics: conversational, relaxed. May include idioms, contractions, or slang, where appropriate. Example: original: let's discuss the project timeline. Informal: let's chat about the project schedule. How to adapt your tone. Steps to adjust tone. Understand your audience, consider their role, relationship to you, and expectations. Analyze the situation, decide if the context requires a formal or casual approach. Choose your words carefully, select vocabulary and phrasing that matches the tone. Quick tip: always err on the side of formality if you're unsure. It's easier to adjust down to semi-formal than risk being seen as unprofessional. Exercise: analyze and rewrite sentences. Let's practice adapting tone. I'll read a sentence, and you decide whether it's formal, semi-formal, or informal. Then, rewrite it for a different tone. Pause the video or podcast if you need extra time. Sentences to analyze. I hope this email finds you well. Formal rightward arrow rewrite as semi-formal. Example answer: hope you're doing well. Could you share the meeting agenda? Semi-formal rightward arrow rewrite as informal. Example answer: can you send me the meeting details? Let's go over the budget proposal tomorrow. Informal rightward arrow rewrite as formal. Example answer: could we review the budget proposal tomorrow? Interactive challenge. Think of a sentence you commonly use in your emails or conversations. Rewrite it for all three tones and share your examples in the comments section. Understanding tone and formality is essential for clear and effective communication. Mastering this skill will help you adapt to any professional situation, from formal boardroom meetings to casual team discussions. Effective business meetings. Vocabulary and phrases for meetings. In this lesson, we'll focus on the essential vocabulary and key phrases you need to know for business meetings. Whether you're starting, contributing, or closing a meeting, having the right phrases can make you sound more professional and confident. Today's lesson will cover key phrases for starting, contributing, and closing meetings. How to use these phrases effectively in different meeting contexts. An interactive role-play exercise to practice using these phrases in real-life scenarios. Starting a meeting. Let's start with how to begin a business meeting. The way you open a meeting sets the tone for the entire discussion, so it's important to be clear, polite, and to the point. Key phrases for starting a meeting. Good morning/afternoon, everyone. Let's get started. Thank you all for joining today's meeting. I'd like to begin by. First, let's review the agenda for today's meeting. Shall we begin? Example sentence. Good morning, everyone. I'd like to begin today's meeting by reviewing the sales targets for the upcoming quarter. Tip. Make sure to introduce the purpose of the meeting clearly. If there's an agenda, briefly summarize it to guide the discussion. Contributing to the discussion. During a meeting, contributing your ideas clearly and respectfully is key. Here are some essential phrases to help you participate effectively. Key phrases for contributing to a meeting. I'd like to add that. In my opinion, we should. I believe the best course of action would be. That's an interesting point. However, I think. Could I clarify something about what was just said? Let me give you an example. Example sentence. I'd like to add that we may need to adjust the budget if we're going to meet the new deadlines. Tip. Stay on topic and avoid interrupting others. Use polite language like I'd like to add or in my opinion to express your thoughts respectfully. Closing a meeting. How you close a meeting is just as important as how you start it. A good conclusion ensures everyone is clear on the next steps and any follow-up actions. Key phrases for closing a meeting. To summarize, we've agreed on. Before we end, are there any final comments or questions? Let's recap the action points from today's meeting. Thank you for your time and contributions today. I think that wraps up today's meeting. Thank you, everyone. We'll follow up with an email to summarize the key points. Example sentence. To summarize, we've agreed to implement the new strategy starting next month, and I'll send out an email with the details. Tip. Always leave room for questions or final thoughts, and don't forget to confirm the next steps. This helps avoid confusion and ensures that everyone leaves with a clear understanding of what's next. Exercise, role-play scenarios. Now, let's put your new vocabulary into practice with an interactive role-play exercise. I'll provide 3 scenarios where you'll need to use the phrases we just learned. Pause the video or podcast when prompted and practice using the phrases in your own words. Scenario 1, starting a meeting. Imagine you're leading a meeting about an upcoming project. Use the following phrases to introduce the meeting and set the agenda. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining today's meeting. Today, we'll be discussing the new project timeline and assigning tasks. Scenario 2, contributing to the discussion. In the middle of the meeting, you want to share your thoughts on how to improve the project workflow. Use the following phrases to contribute. I'd like to add that we should consider using a project management tool to streamline communication. In my opinion, the timeline could be adjusted to give us more time for testing. Scenario 3, closing a meeting. You've reached the end of the meeting and need to summarize and conclude. Use these phrases to close the discussion. To summarize, we've agreed on a new timeline and I'll send a follow-up email with the details. Are there any final questions before we conclude? No. Great, thank you all for your input. Interactive challenge. Now, try recording yourself using the phrases from these scenarios. Play back your recording and listen for clarity, tone, and confidence. Active listening and note-taking. Topics: techniques for effective listening and summarizing discussions. Activity: watch a short meeting clip and take key points. In today's lesson, we'll dive into the essential skills of active listening and note-taking. These are critical tools for any business meeting, as they help you stay engaged and ensure you capture the most important information. Effective listening and note-taking go hand in hand and are key for understanding, remembering, and responding appropriately during meetings. We'll cover techniques to help you listen actively and summarize discussions clearly. What is active listening? Active listening is more than just hearing what others are saying. It's about fully understanding and engaging with the speaker. This technique ensures you respond effectively and retain important information. Key principles of active listening. Pay attention, focus on the speaker without distractions. Put away your phone or laptop unless you're taking notes. Show that you're listening, use nonverbal cues like nodding or making eye contact to signal engagement. Provide feedback, reflect on what the speaker is saying by paraphrasing or asking clarifying questions. Defer judgment, resist the urge to interrupt or form an opinion until the speaker has finished. Respond appropriately, once you fully understand, respond with a thoughtful and relevant answer. Example of active listening. Speaker: we need to finalize the project deadline by the end of this week. Active listener: so, if I understand correctly, the goal is to have the project deadline set by Friday. Is that right? Tip: active listening is particularly important in meetings, where clear communication is key. Practice summarizing what others say in your own words to ensure you've understood correctly. Techniques for effective note-taking. Taking notes during meetings can help you track key points, action items, and decisions. Effective note-taking involves focusing on the most relevant information, rather than writing everything down. Effective note-taking tips. Use abbreviations and symbols. Write faster by using abbreviations like W/4 with or symbols like rightward arrow for leads to. Highlight key points. Focus on main ideas, decisions, and action items rather than trying to write down every detail. Use bullet points or diagrams. This makes it easier to organize and review your notes later. Leave space for questions. If you're unsure about something, leave a space in your notes to clarify it later. Review and organize your notes. After the meeting, take a moment to go over your notes, fill in any gaps, and organize them for clarity. Example of good notes. Project update. Deadline, set for Friday. Team: John and Sarah responsible for final tasks. Next steps: schedule follow-up meeting next Monday to review progress. Tip: good notes are about capturing the essence of what's been discussed, especially key decisions and action items that will help guide future work. Summarizing discussions. Once you've taken notes, summarizing the discussion is the next step. Summarizing helps reinforce your understanding and ensures that everyone is on the same page. Key steps to summarizing a discussion. Identify key points, review your notes and highlight the most critical information. Use clear, concise language. When summarizing, aim for brevity and clarity. Check for understanding. If you're unsure about any details, ask for clarification. Reiterate action items. Make sure to emphasize who is responsible for what and the deadlines involved. Example of a good summary. To summarize, the project deadline is confirmed for Friday. John and Sarah are responsible for the final tasks. We'll schedule a follow-up meeting next Monday to assess progress. Tip: summaries should be concise, yet comprehensive enough to capture the important aspects of the meeting. Focus on the who, what, when, and why. Hear a meeting clip and take key points. Now, Let's put what we've learned into practice. I will play a short clip from a business meeting. Your task is to listen actively and take notes on the key points discussed. Pay special attention to decisions, deadlines, and action items. You can pause the video to jot down your notes, and then I'll review them together with you. Activity instructions. Hearth meeting clip. Take notes, focusing on the following: key decisions made during the meeting, action items and who is responsible for them, any deadlines or follow-up tasks mentioned. After the clip, compare your notes with the summary I provide, and reflect on the differences. Example clip transcript. Manager: so, we've agreed that the design phase will be completed by Friday. John: you'll handle the presentation to the client, and Sarah, you'll be responsible for coordinating the team. We need to make sure we have everything ready for the meeting on Monday. Any questions? Interactive review. Let's review the notes you've taken. Here are the key points you should have captured. Decision: the design phase deadline is Friday. Action items: John: present the design to the client. Sarah: coordinate the team. Deadline: everything needs to be ready for the meeting on Monday. Clarifications: did you catch all the details? Were there any questions you might have missed? Take a moment to compare your notes. Tip for review. Revisiting your notes regularly helps reinforce the information and ensures you don't forget important details. If there's anything unclear, always ask for clarification right away. Leading and participating in meetings. Topics: strategies to confidently lead or contribute in meetings. Exercise: practice mock meetings with feedback. In today's lesson, we'll focus on strategies for both leading and actively participating in meetings. Whether you're the one facilitating the meeting or contributing as a team member, being confident and clear is key to success. Let's explore some effective strategies to ensure you can lead or participate in meetings with ease and professionalism. Strategies for leading a meeting. Being a meeting leader comes with a lot of responsibility, from setting the agenda to guiding the discussion and ensuring that action items are clear at the end. Here are some strategies to help you lead with confidence and clarity. Key strategies for leading a meeting. Set a clear agenda. Before the meeting, send out an agenda with topics to be discussed and the goals to be achieved. This keeps everyone on track and ensures the meeting stays focused. Start strong. Open the meeting by introducing the purpose, objectives, and expected outcomes. This sets the tone and ensures everyone is aligned. Encourage participation. As the leader, encourage everyone to speak and contribute. Ask open-ended questions like, "What do you think about this idea?" or "How does this fit with our goals?" Stay on track. Keep the discussion focused on the agenda. If the conversation goes off topic, gently redirect it back to the key points. Summarize and assign action items. Before closing, summarize the key points discussed, clarify decisions made, and assign clear action items with deadlines. End on time. Respect everyone's time by ensuring the meeting ends when planned. If there's more to discuss, schedule a follow-up meeting. Example of leading a meeting. Good morning, everyone. Let's start by reviewing the project's current status. We'll discuss the challenges we're facing, and by the end of the meeting, we should agree on the next steps. First, John, could you give us an update? Contributing actively in a meeting. As a participant in a meeting, it's important to contribute effectively without dominating the conversation. Your input should be relevant, clear, and constructive. Key strategies for contributing effectively. Prepare in advance. Review the agenda and any relevant documents before the meeting. This helps you stay informed and ensures your contributions are on point. Speak clearly and concisely. Avoid long-winded explanations. Be brief and to the point while still conveying your message effectively. Support your ideas. When presenting an idea or opinion, support it with evidence or examples. For instance, based on the data from last month, I think we should increase our marketing efforts in this region. Listen actively, while contributing, remember to listen to others. Active listening shows respect and allows you to build on others' ideas. Be respectful and professional, avoid interrupting others, and respect different opinions. If you disagree, express your point politely, like, I see your point, but I believe we should consider another option. Example of effective contribution. I agree with the proposal, but I think we might need to adjust the timeline. Last time, we faced delays due to unforeseen challenges, and I want to make sure we allow enough time for quality checks. Handling difficult situations in meetings. Meetings are not always smooth sailing. Sometimes, you may encounter challenges like disagreements, conflicts, or unclear discussions. It's essential to handle these situations professionally. Strategies for managing difficult situations. Stay calm and collected. If a disagreement arises, maintain a calm and composed demeanor. Respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. Acknowledge different opinions. If there's a disagreement, acknowledge the other person's perspective before presenting your own. This shows respect for their opinion. Encourage solutions, not blame. Focus on finding solutions instead of placing blame. For example, we've encountered some challenges, but how can we move forward to resolve this? Use neutral language. When tensions rise, use neutral language to defuse the situation. For example, let's explore both sides of the argument to find the best solution. Example of handling disagreement. I understand your concerns, but I think there's a way we can address them. Let's look at a few options that could meet both of our needs. Practicing mock meetings. Now, let's put what we've learned into practice. It's time for a mock meeting exercise. In this exercise, we'll simulate a meeting scenario where you can practice both leading and participating. Exercise instructions. Scenario: you're having a meeting about a new marketing campaign. The leader will start by introducing the topic, and each participant will contribute their thoughts. Roles: one person will be the meeting leader, and others will be participants. You can rotate roles in your group to practice both leading and contributing. Focus areas. The leader should introduce the agenda, keep the discussion on track, and assign action items at the end. Participants should contribute relevant ideas and respond to others' suggestions. Feedback. After the exercise, give each other feedback on your communication styles. Was the leader clear in guiding the discussion? Did the participants contribute effectively and respectfully? Example of mock meeting dialogue. Leader: let's start by reviewing the proposed marketing strategies for the upcoming quarter. John: would you mind sharing your thoughts? Participant: I think we should focus on digital advertising, particularly targeting social media influencers. Leader: great point, John. Let's explore how that would fit into our budget. Sarah: what are your thoughts on this? Feedback and reflection. Now, let's take a moment to reflect on the mock meeting. Think about the following questions as you evaluate the exercise. Did the meeting stay on track and cover all necessary topics? Were action items clearly defined at the end? Did you feel confident when contributing? Why or why not? As a leader, were you able to encourage participation effectively? Make note of any challenges you faced and think about how you can improve in the next meeting. The more you practice, the more comfortable you'll become with leading and participating in meetings. Email writing basics. In this lesson, we'll cover the basics of writing professional emails. Email communication is a crucial skill in today's business world, and knowing how to structure your emails properly can make a big difference in how you are perceived. Let's dive into the key elements of a professional email and learn how to write emails that are clear, respectful, and effective. Structure of professional emails. Professional emails typically follow a simple structure. The key components include the greeting, body, and closing. Let's break each part down. Greeting. The greeting is the first impression you make on your recipient. It sets the tone for the rest of the email. Formal greetings, dear title last name, is used when you don't know the person well, or you are writing to a superior. Semi-formal greetings, hello name, or hi name, can be used when you have an established relationship with the recipient. Informal greetings, hi first name, is acceptable when writing to colleagues or close contacts. Example of greetings. Dear Mr. Smith. Hello Jane. Hi John. The body. The body is where you state the purpose of the email. It should be clear, concise, and to the point. Opening sentence, start by stating the reason you are writing. For example, I am writing to inform you about. Main content, provide necessary details, but avoid unnecessary information. Closing sentence, wrap up by clearly stating any actions required. For example, please let me know if you need further clarification. Example of body. I am writing to confirm our meeting scheduled for Monday, December 15th, at 2 p.m. Please let me know if this time still works for you. As discussed in our previous meeting, I have attached the project proposal for your review. Kindly provide your feedback by Friday. Closing. The closing is where you wrap up the email. Choose a polite and professional way to end your message. Formal closings, sincerely, best regards, or yours faithfully. Semi-formal closings, best, or kind regards. Informal closings, cheers, or take care. Example of closings. Sincerely, your name. Best regards, your name. Kind regards, your name. Polishing your email for clarity and tone. It's important to not only have the correct structure but also to ensure your tone is appropriate for the situation. Here are some tips to improve your email tone and clarity. Be clear and concise. Avoid overly complicated language or long sentences. Keep your emails to the point. Use bullet points or numbered lists for clarity when outlining multiple items. Be polite and respectful. Always use please and thank you where necessary. A polite tone will make a big difference in how your message is received. Be careful not to come across as too direct or abrupt, especially when making requests. Proofread for grammar and spelling. Errors in grammar or spelling can harm your professionalism. Always proofread your emails before sending them, even if it's just a quick review. Consider using grammar check tools like Grammarly for extra assistance. Avoid overuse of capital letters. Writing in all caps can come across as shouting. Use caps only for emphasis, and sparingly. Example of polishing for clarity and tone. Before, need confirmation for our meeting. Let me know if time works. After, I am writing to confirm our meeting time. Please let me know if 2 p.m. still works for you on Monday. Exercise, improving poorly written emails. Now that you understand the structure and how to maintain the right tone, let's practice by improving some poorly written emails. I'll show you a few examples of emails that could be clearer or more professional, and we'll rewrite them together. Example 1. Poor email. I don't know what time our meeting is. Are you going to send the agenda? Let me know when you are free. Improved email. Dear name. I hope this email finds you well. I am writing to confirm the time of our upcoming meeting. Could you kindly send me the agenda beforehand? Please let me know if you are available for a quick discussion. Best regards, your name. Example 2. Poor email. The report is late. I need it ASAP. Improved email. Dear name. I hope you're doing well. I just wanted to follow up on the status of the report. Could you kindly provide an update or let me know if you need additional time? I appreciate your prompt attention to this matter. Best regards, your name. Recap and tips for effective email writing. Let's quickly recap the key points for writing professional emails. Structure, Always use a clear structure, greeting, body, closing. 2. Tone. Match your tone to the relationship with the recipient, formal, semi-formal, or informal. 3. Clarity. Be clear and concise in your message to avoid misunderstandings. 4. Proofreading. Always check for grammar and spelling mistakes before sending. Remember, writing professional emails is a skill that improves with practice. The more you write and review emails, the better you will get at conveying your message effectively. Email etiquette and common pitfalls. In this lesson, we'll discuss the do's and don'ts of email communication in the workplace and focus on common mistakes people often make in emails. Understanding proper email etiquette is crucial to maintaining professionalism and avoiding miscommunications. Let's dive in. The dose of email communication. Do be clear and direct. State your purpose early in the email. Avoid unnecessary fluff or long introductions. A direct and clear approach helps the recipient understand your message immediately. Example. Poor, I hope this email finds you well. I'm just reaching out to discuss something we talked about earlier. Better, I am writing to follow up on our discussion regarding the project timeline. Do use professional language. Avoid slang or overly casual language in professional emails. Always opt for formal language unless you have an established, informal relationship with the recipient. Example. Casual, hey, let me know what's up with the report. Professional, could you kindly provide an update on the status of the report? Do include a clear subject line. A strong subject line ensures that the recipient knows the topic of your email at a glance. Avoid vague or unclear subject lines. Example. Week, meeting. Clear, agenda for Monday's team meeting. Do proofread before sending. Always read your email before hitting send to ensure there are no spelling or grammatical errors. This helps maintain professionalism. Tip. Use tools like Grammarly or the built-in spelling/grammar check in most email platforms. The don'ts of email communication. Don't use all caps. Writing in all caps can come across as shouting. Use capital letters sparingly, only for emphasis. Example. Shouting, please send the report ASAP. Polite request, could you please send the report by the end of the day? Don't be too informal. Even if you know the person well, don't use overly informal language or emojis in professional emails. Keep the tone professional. Example. Informal, yo, got the thing. Appropriate, hi name, have you received the document I sent? Don't overload the email with information. Keep emails concise and to the point. Don't overload the recipient with too much information in one email. If necessary, break it up into bullet points or follow-up emails. Tip, if your email is long, consider adding a brief summary at the beginning so the recipient can easily grasp the key points. Don't send emails without reviewing the recipients. Double-check who you are sending the email to, especially when you're using a reply all feature. Mistakes can lead to confusion or sharing sensitive information with the wrong people. Tip, before hitting send, ensure you're addressing the correct person or group and that the attachments are properly included. Common email pitfalls and how to avoid them. Pitfall, ambiguous subject lines. A vague subject line can confuse your recipient about the purpose of your email. Example of poor subject line, question. Better subject line, clarification on Q3 sales data. Pitfall, overly long emails. Long emails can be overwhelming, and the reader might miss key information. If you need to provide detailed information, use bullet points or separate sections to make the email easy to scan. Tip, keep your email between 150 to 200 words when possible. Pitfall, overuse of urgent or ASAP. Constantly marking emails as urgent or requesting things ASAP can lose its impact and annoy the recipient. Use these words sparingly and only when truly necessary. Example, can you please review this ASAP? Better, I would appreciate it if you could review this by the end of the day. Pitfall, not including a call to action, CTA. A professional email should always include a clear next step for the recipient. Whether it's scheduling a meeting, providing feedback, or confirming details, include a specific request or CTA. Example of poor CTA, let me know what you think. Better CTA, please confirm your availability for a meeting on Friday. Activity, identifying errors in sample emails. Let's practice identifying common email mistakes. I'm going to show you a couple of sample emails with errors, and your task is to spot the issues and think of ways to improve them. Sample email 1. Email, hey, just wanted to check if we are still on for our meeting tomorrow. Let me know. Thanks. Errors. Informal tone, hey, and casual phrasing. Vague subject line. No clear call to action. Improved email, dear recipient's name. I hope you are doing well. I am writing to confirm if we are still scheduled for our meeting tomorrow at 10 a.m. Please let me know if this time still works for you. Best regards, your name. Sample email 2. Email, can you send me that file I asked for? I need it now. Errors. Direct and demanding tone. Lack of politeness. No context or details about the file. Improved email, dear recipient's name. I hope you are doing well. Could you kindly send me the file we discussed earlier today? I would appreciate it if you could share it at your earliest convenience. Thank you in advance, your name. Recap and final tips. Let's quickly recap what we've learned about email etiquette today. Dos. Be clear and direct. Use professional language. Proofread your emails before sending them. Don'ts. Don't use all caps or informal language. Avoid sending overly long emails. Don't forget to include the correct recipient in your emails. By following these dos and don'ts and avoiding common pitfalls, you'll be able to write professional, effective emails that will help you succeed in the business world. Writing persuasive emails. Topics: how to write emails for requests, follow UPS, or sales. Exercise: compose a persuasive email based on a given scenario. In this lesson, we'll explore how to write persuasive emails. Whether you're requesting information, following up on an earlier email, or trying to make a sale, mastering persuasive email writing can greatly improve your business communication. Let's get started. What makes an email persuasive? Understanding your audience. A persuasive email needs to address the recipient's interests or needs. Before writing, ask yourself, what does the recipient want? What will motivate them to act on your email? Example: if you're requesting a meeting, focus on the value and benefit of the meeting for the recipient. If you're following up on a sale, emphasize the benefits of your product or service. Clear call to action, CTA. A persuasive email always has a clear and actionable request. Whether you're asking for a meeting, a response, or a purchase, ensure the CTA is direct and easy to follow. Example: weak CTA, let me know if you're interested. Strong CTA, please confirm your availability for a meeting next week so we can discuss the proposal in more detail. Use positive and action-oriented language. The tone of your email should be confident and encouraging. Use language that motivates the recipient to act. Avoid being too passive or uncertain. Example: weak, I'm not sure if you'd be interested in this. Strong, I believe this opportunity could greatly benefit your company. Show credibility and build trust. Mention relevant qualifications, successes, or testimonials to build credibility in your email. This will reassure the recipient that taking action will benefit them. Example: our company has helped over 100 clients improve their sales by 25% in the last year. I'm confident we can do the same for you. Types of persuasive emails. Persuasive request email. This type of email is used when you need something from the recipient, such as approval, feedback, or assistance. Structure. Introduction, briefly introduce yourself or the context. Body, state the request clearly and explain why it's important. CTA, encourage the recipient to take action, such as scheduling a meeting or providing feedback. Example. Subject, request for meeting. Email. Dear recipient's name. I hope you are doing well. I would like to request a meeting to discuss the upcoming project deadline. Your input is essential to ensure we meet the target. Please let me know when you're available this week. Best regards, your name. Persuasive follow-up email. This is used to follow up after a previous request, meeting, or conversation. The goal is to encourage action or remind the recipient about your original request. Structure. Introduction, acknowledge the previous communication or meeting. Body, provide a brief summary and ask for the next step. CTA, suggest a specific time or action to move things forward. Example. Subject, follow up on our meeting. Email. Dear recipient's name. I wanted to follow up on our meeting last week regarding the partnership proposal. I'm eager to move forward with the next steps. Would you be available to discuss the contract terms on Thursday? Looking forward to your response. Best regards, your name. Persuasive sales email. A persuasive sales email is written with the goal of getting the recipient to make a purchase or engage in a sales conversation. Focus on the value, benefits, and why the recipient should act now. Structure. Introduction, briefly introduce the product or service and its value. Body, focus on benefits, provide testimonials or success stories. CTA, encourage the recipient to make a purchase or schedule a demo. Example. Subject, improve your workflow with our new software. Email. Dear recipient's name. Are you looking to streamline your team's productivity? Our software has helped hundreds of companies save time and increase efficiency. I'd love to schedule a demo to show you how it can help your team. Please let me know your availability this week. Best regards, your name. Strategies for writing persuasive emails. Use the AIDA model. The AIDA, attention, interest, desire, action, model is a proven strategy for persuasive writing. Attention, grab the recipient's attention with an engaging subject line. Interest, spark interest by focusing on a need or pain point the recipient has. Desire, build desire by showcasing the benefits of taking action. Action, end with a clear call to action, encouraging the recipient to act now. Appeal to emotions and logic. A successful persuasive email balances both emotional and logical appeal. For instance, a sales email can highlight how the product will improve the recipient's work life, emotional appeal, while also emphasizing time-saving or cost-reducing benefits, logical appeal. Keep it concise but impactful. People are busy and often skim emails. Keep your persuasive emails short and to the point while ensuring that you highlight the key benefits. Be direct but engaging in your language. Exercise, writing a persuasive email. Now it's time for you to practice writing a persuasive email. Based on the scenario below, craft an email that encourages the recipient to take action. Scenario. You work for a company that offers professional development courses. You've had an initial conversation with a manager at a company and would like to persuade them to enroll their team in your upcoming training program. The training focuses on leadership skills and team management. Your task. Write a persuasive email that introduces the training program, highlights the benefits of enrolling their team, includes a clear call to action, such as scheduling a call or signing up for the course. Recap and final tips. Let's quickly review what we've learned about writing persuasive emails today. Know your audience, Tailor your message to meet the recipient's needs and interests. Be clear and direct, always include a clear call to action. Show benefits and credibility, explain why the recipient should act and how it will benefit them. Use persuasive language, be confident and motivating without being too pushy. By mastering the art of persuasive email writing, you can enhance your communication and achieve your professional goals more effectively. In the next lesson, we'll look at how to handle difficult or sensitive email situations. Networking with confidence. Lesson 4.1, Small talk in professional settings. In this lesson, we'll dive into the art of small talk in professional settings. Whether you're attending a conference, meeting new colleagues, or networking at an event, being able to make small talk can help you build relationships and create a positive impression. Let's begin. Why small talk is important in business. Breaking the ice. Small talk is a way to initiate conversations and break the awkward silence in professional situations. It helps you connect with others and establish rapport. Example: you might be at a business networking event and need a way to start a conversation. Small talk is the perfect way to introduce yourself without jumping straight into business discussions. Building relationships. Successful networking isn't just about exchanging business cards or making sales pitches. Small talk helps to establish trust and show your personality, making you more approachable. Example: a quick chat about shared interests can lay the groundwork for a more meaningful business relationship in the future. Making a positive first impression. How you handle small talk can influence how others perceive you. Being confident, polite, and engaged will leave a positive impression on colleagues, clients, or potential partners. Example: at a job interview, making light, friendly small talk before discussing qualifications can help ease any tension and create a positive atmosphere. Common topics for small talk. The weather. While it may seem cliché, discussing the weather is a safe and neutral way to start a conversation. It's especially useful in places where you don't know the other person well. Example: it's a beautiful day outside, isn't it? Perfect weather for a walk during lunch. Current events, non-controversial. Talking about global or local news that isn't too controversial can be a good conversation starter. This could include recent developments in the industry, tech, or sports. Example: I read that there's a new product being launched in our industry. It looks like it could really change the way we work. What do you think? Work-related topics, non-work stress. Keep the conversation light by talking about your work, upcoming projects, or the office environment without diving into heavy or stressful topics. Example: I'm looking forward to the project kickoff next week. Have you worked on something similar before? Hobbies and interests. Asking about hobbies can help you discover common interests and lead to deeper conversations. Example: do you have any fun plans for the weekend? I've been getting into hiking lately, it's a great way to disconnect. Compliments. Complimenting someone on something they're wearing or their professional achievements can be a natural way to engage in small talk. Example: I really like your tie. Is it from the new collection? It's a great color. Phrases and expressions for small talk. Opening phrases. Use these simple phrases to initiate conversations in various settings. Hi, how's it going? It's great to finally meet you in person. Have you been to this event before? I've heard a lot about your company, it's great to meet someone from there. Asking about others. Asking about someone's work, interests, or current situation can keep the conversation going. What do you do at company? How long have you been in this field? Are you working on any exciting projects? What kind of activities do you enjoy outside of work? Responses to keep the conversation flowing. Use these responses to express interest in what the other person is saying and keep the conversation light. That sounds interesting, tell me more. I can see how that would be really exciting. What's your take on that? How did you get started in that? Ending the conversation politely. If you need to wrap up the conversation, you can do so politely with phrases like, "It was great talking with you. I hope we can catch up again soon. Thanks for the chat, I'll let you go now, but let's stay in touch. I really enjoyed our conversation. I'll see you around." Exercise, practice with a script and improvise responses. Activity overview. Now, it's time to practice using small talk in a business context. Below is a script for you to follow. You can role play this with a partner, or practice it by yourself in front of the mirror. Try to improvise responses, as real-life conversations are rarely scripted. Script for small talk. Person 1, you. Hi, how's your day been so far? Person 2, your conversation partner. It's been good, thanks. Just finishing up some meetings. How about you? Person 1, you. I've had a busy morning too, but I'm excited to be here. Have you been to this conference before? Person 2, your conversation partner. Yes, I've been attending it for the last 3 years. It's always full of interesting discussions. What about you? Person 1, you. This is my first time, and I'm really looking forward to learning more about the industry trends. What do you find most valuable about attending? Person 2, your conversation partner. I always enjoy the networking opportunities. I've met some great people here, and I've learned a lot of new strategies. Are you working on any new projects? Person 1, you. Actually, yes. We're launching a new marketing campaign next quarter, and I'm excited to see how it turns out. How about you, any interesting projects on your end? Person 2, your conversation partner. Right now, I'm focused on improving customer relations in our department. It's a challenging but rewarding task. Person 1, you. Sounds like an important role. Well, I'll let you get back to your work, but it was great chatting with you. Improvise. Now, take some time to improvise and extend the conversation, asking questions or offering insights based on your responses. The goal is to practice maintaining a natural flow in conversation. Recap and final tips. Let's summarize what we've covered today. Common topics for small talk: weather, current events, hobbies, work-related topics, and compliments. Useful phrases: have a variety of phrases ready to start, continue, and end conversations smoothly. Practice: small talk becomes easier the more you practice. Try it at your next networking event or even during coffee breaks at work. Introducing yourself professionally. In this lesson, we're going to focus on how to introduce yourself professionally in different business settings. Crafting a strong self-introduction is essential, whether you're meeting someone for the first time at a networking event or introducing yourself in a job interview. Let's dive in and learn how to make a memorable first impression. Why a strong introduction is crucial. First impressions matter. Your introduction is often the first thing people will know about you. A strong introduction can help you establish credibility, build rapport, and make you stand out. Example: Hi, my name is Maria, and I'm a marketing manager with 5 years of experience in digital strategy. I specialize in creating campaigns that increase engagement and drive sales. Setting the tone for your conversation. A clear and confident introduction sets the stage for a productive and professional conversation. It helps people understand your background and purpose. Example: I'm John, a software engineer working on AI solutions for healthcare. It's great to connect with someone who's interested in this field. Reflecting professionalism and confidence. How you introduce yourself reflects your level of professionalism and confidence. A concise and structured introduction conveys both. Example: My name's Emily, and I'm currently the Director of Operations at company. I focus on improving operational efficiency across our global teams. Components of a strong self-introduction. A strong self-introduction should be clear, concise, and highlight relevant information. Here are the key components. Greeting. Start with a friendly greeting, making sure to smile and make eye contact if in person or look directly at the camera if on a virtual call. Example. Hi, it's great to meet you. Name and position. State your name and your current position or role in your company. Example. My name is Sarah, and I'm a financial analyst at XYZ Corporation. Company and industry. Mention the company you work for and the industry you're in to give context. Example. I'm with ABC Tech, a leading software company specializing in cloud computing. Key responsibilities/expertise. Briefly mention your key responsibilities, area of expertise, or focus within your role. Example. In my role, I oversee customer relations and help develop strategies to enhance our clients' services. Relevant skills or experience. Share a brief highlight of your most relevant skills or experiences that might be of interest to your audience. Example. I have a background in project management, and I'm passionate about optimizing workflows to improve efficiency. Optional, a personal touch or goal. If appropriate, you can add a personal touch or a goal to make the introduction more engaging. Example. In my free time, I love reading about new tech trends, and I'm looking forward to connecting with others who share my passion for innovation. Phrases to use in your introduction. Here are some useful phrases for crafting a polished introduction. Greeting and name. Hi, my name is your name. Hello, I'm your name, nice to meet you. Good morning, I'm your name, and I'm excited to connect. Position and company. I'm currently working as your position at company name. I work with company name as your position, where I focus on your area of expertise. I've been with company for X years, and I specialize in your specialty. Highlighting responsibilities and experience. My role involves describe key responsibility. I've had experience in area of expertise, where I've mentioned a key achievement. I manage area of work, and my expertise is in skill or field. Adding a personal touch or objective. I'm passionate about your interest and always looking to learn more about topic. I'm excited to be here today and hope to collaborate on relevant project or topic. Activity, record and critique your self-introduction. Activity overview. In this activity, you'll have the chance to create and record your self-introduction. Afterward, you'll critique your introduction to make improvements. Here's how you can do it. Write your self-introduction. Start by writing your self-introduction using the key components we've discussed: greeting, name, position, company, responsibilities, and a personal touch. Record your introduction. Record a video or audio of your introduction. This will help you work on your tone, clarity, and confidence. If possible, ask a colleague, mentor, or friend to listen or watch your introduction and give feedback on how it can be improved. Critique your introduction. Listen or watch your recorded introduction. Ask yourself the following questions. Was I clear and concise? Did I sound confident and professional? Was my tone friendly and approachable? Did I convey the most important information? Was I mindful of time, keeping it short and sweet? Make improvements. Based on your self-reflection or feedback, make adjustments to improve your self-introduction. Record it again if necessary. Recap and tips for success. Key takeaways. A strong self-introduction should be concise, professional, and tailored to the audience. Include your name, position, company, responsibilities, and a relevant personal touch. Practice your introduction until it feels natural, confident, and engaging. Tips for effective introductions. Be confident. Confidence is key in making a strong impression. Smile, stand tall, if in person, and speak clearly. Keep it brief, aim for a 30-second to 1-minute introduction, long enough to convey important details, but short enough to keep it engaging. Adapt to the situation, tailor your introduction depending on the setting. A job interview, a networking event, or a casual meeting may all require slightly different approaches. Practice. The more you practice, the more natural your introduction will sound. Building professional relationships. In this lesson, we're going to focus on building and maintaining professional relationships after networking events. Whether you've just met someone at a conference, seminar, or casual business event, following up with a well-crafted email can solidify the connection and open doors to future opportunities. Let's explore how to build professional relationships effectively. The importance of following up. Why follow-up matters. A follow-up email is an opportunity to reinforce the connection you made during the networking event. Following up shows professionalism, respect for the other person's time, and a genuine interest in continuing the relationship. Example: it was great meeting you at the conference yesterday. I really enjoyed our conversation about digital marketing trends. Strengthening the relationship. A follow-up is your chance to remind the person of who you are and how you met, while also expressing your interest in collaborating or staying in touch. A well-crafted follow-up can lead to business opportunities, advice, or even mentorship. Example: I believe our discussion on social media strategies could lead to some interesting collaborations. I'd love to discuss this further. Timing your follow-up. Don't wait too long. Aim to send a follow-up email within 24 to 48 hours after meeting someone. The sooner you reach out, the more likely you are to be remembered. Example: I wanted to follow up while our conversation is still fresh in your mind. Key components of a follow-up email. Greeting. Begin with a friendly greeting, addressing the person by name. If the conversation was formal, maintain that tone in your email. Example: Dear name. Reminder of the meeting. Recalling where you met and what you discussed briefly helps the recipient place you in context. Example: It was a pleasure meeting you at the Global Marketing Summit last week. Personal connection. Add a personal touch by mentioning a specific topic you discussed or something that stood out during your conversation. Example: I enjoyed hearing your insights on influencer marketing, and it was fascinating to learn more about your company's approach. Purpose of the follow-up. Be clear about the purpose of your email. Are you looking to connect further, schedule a meeting, share resources, or discuss a collaboration? Example: I would love to continue our conversation about social media strategy and see how we might collaborate in the future. Call to action, CTA. Include a clear CTA, whether it's scheduling a call, meeting, or continuing the discussion on a specific topic. Example: Would you be available for a call next week to discuss potential synergies between our businesses? Closing. End with a polite closing. Express your appreciation for their time and attention. Example: Looking forward to hearing from you. Best regards, your name. Key phrases for writing a professional follow-up email. Here are some essential phrases to include in your follow-up emails. Opening phrases. It was a pleasure meeting you at event. I really enjoyed our conversation about topic. Thank you for taking the time to speak with me at event. Reference the connection. I wanted to follow up on our discussion regarding topic. As we discussed at event, I'm keen to explore topic. It was great hearing about your work in industry/field. Offering next steps. I'd love to schedule a call to discuss topic further. I'm looking forward to continuing our conversation and exploring potential opportunities. Could we set up a time to discuss project or opportunity? Expressing interest in future collaboration. I believe there's potential for us to collaborate on project. I'd love to explore how we can work together in the future. Let me know if you'd be open to discussing potential synergies. Closing polite phrases. Looking forward to hearing from you. I appreciate your time and consideration. Thank you again for connecting, and I hope we can continue this conversation. Exercise, write your own follow-up email. Activity overview. Now it's your turn. In this exercise, you'll practice writing a professional follow-up email. Follow these steps. Step 1. Think about a recent networking event or meeting where you made a professional connection. Consider the main points of your conversation, any potential opportunities, and what you'd like to follow up on. Step 2. Write a follow-up email to the person you met. Be sure to start with a friendly greeting. Remind them of who you are and where you met. Mention a specific part of your conversation. Be clear about the purpose of your follow-up and what you'd like to achieve next. End with a polite closing and a clear call to action. Step 3. Review and refine your email to ensure that it's clear, professional, and concise. Make sure it's tailored to the person and the situation. Recap and tips for successful follow-up. Key takeaways. A follow-up email is a key tool for maintaining professional relationships and building your network. Keep your email brief, polite, and clear. Ensure it's well structured and focused on next steps. Personalize your message based on your conversation to remind the person who you are and why you're following up. Tips for writing effective follow-up emails. Be timely, send your follow-up email within 24 to 48 hours after the event. Be professional, yet friendly, keep a professional tone, but don't be too stiff. Make it easy for the recipient to want to respond. Be clear and specific. Your email should clearly state the purpose of the follow-up and include a call to action. Proofread your email, always double-check for spelling, grammar, and clarity before sending your follow-up email. Delivering effective presentations. In this lesson, we'll dive into the essentials of structuring a presentation that engages your audience and communicates your ideas effectively. A well-organized presentation not only helps your audience understand your message but also boosts your confidence as a speaker. Let's break down the basic structure of a successful presentation. The 3 key parts of a presentation. Introduction. The introduction sets the stage for your presentation and helps you grab your audience's attention. A good introduction will also outline what the audience can expect. Key points. Start with a hook. Open with a powerful quote, an interesting fact, or a compelling question to engage your audience immediately. Introduce yourself and your topic. Briefly introduce who you are and what you will be discussing. This is also your chance to establish your credibility. Outline the agenda. Provide a quick overview of the main points to be covered in your presentation. Example. Good morning. My name is your name, and today I'm excited to talk about how digital marketing strategies are transforming the business world. We'll cover key trends, practical strategies, and how to implement them in your business. Main content. The main content is where you present your core ideas. Organize this section into clear, logical points to maintain the flow of your presentation. Key points. Organize in sections. Break your content into 2 to 4 major points. Each point should be clear and directly related to your topic. Use visual aids. Utilize slides, charts, and graphics to reinforce your key points and make the presentation more engaging. Keep it simple. Avoid overwhelming your audience with too much information. Focus on the most important points. Example. The first key trend we're seeing is the rise of artificial intelligence in digital marketing. AI is revolutionizing how businesses target consumers, automate campaigns, and analyze data. Conclusion. The conclusion is your opportunity to summarize your key points and leave a lasting impression on your audience. Key points. Summarize key takeaways. Recap the main points you covered during the presentation. End with a call to action. Give your audience something to take away, whether it's a question to consider, a resource to explore, or an action to take. Thank your audience. Always thank your audience for their time and attention. Example. In conclusion, embracing AI in digital marketing can help businesses stay ahead of the competition. I encourage you to start exploring AI tools for your business today. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to your questions. Tips for creating an effective presentation structure. Clarity is key. Ensure that your structure is clear and easy to follow. Your audience should always know where they are in the presentation: introduction, main content, conclusion. Use transitions. Help your audience move from one section to the next by using transitional phrases. Example, let's now move on to the second point. Keep it concise. Avoid unnecessary details or tangents that might confuse or bore your audience. Focus on key messages, emphasize the core message of each section, and avoid overloading the presentation with information. Practice the flow. Practice delivering your presentation in a smooth, logical order. This will help with timing and flow. Use signposts, verbal cues. Example, now that we've covered X, let's look at Y, will help your audience follow along. Use engaging visuals. Visual aids like slides or charts should support your content, not overwhelm it. Make sure they are clear and simple. Avoid overcrowding slides, keep text minimal. Use visuals, bullet points, and charts to communicate your message effectively. Exercise, outline your own presentation. Activity overview. Now it's your turn. In this exercise, you'll practice creating an outline for a presentation. This will help you apply what you've learned about structuring a presentation. Instructions. Choose a topic. Think of a topic you would like to present to an audience. It could be related to your profession, a personal interest, or a business idea. Example topics: effective time management, the impact of AI in business, sustainability in the workplace. Create your outline. Introduction. Hook. Start with a compelling question or fact. Introduce your topic and explain why it matters. Outline the key points you'll cover. Main content. List 2 to 4 main points that you will discuss in your presentation. Be sure each point is clear and relevant. Conclusion. Recap the main points. End with a call to action or a thought-provoking statement. Thank your audience. Example outline. Topic: the future of remote work. Introduction. Hook. Did you know that by 2025, over 70% of the workforce will work remotely at least once a week? Introduce topic and discuss the importance of understanding remote work trends. Outline key points: remote work trends, technology, company culture. Main content. Remote work trends, statistics and predictions. Technology that supports remote work, tools, communication platforms. Building a remote company culture, trust, collaboration, and flexibility. Conclusion. Recap: remote work is the future, companies need to adapt to stay competitive. Call to action: consider what your company can do to prepare for this shift. Thank the audience for their time. Recap and final tips. Key takeaways. A structured presentation is essential for keeping your audience engaged and helping them understand your message. Your presentation should have a clear introduction, organized main content, and a strong conclusion. Focus on clarity, simplicity, and visual support to enhance the impact of your presentation. Final tips for structuring a great presentation. Practice, practice, practice. The more you practice, the more comfortable you'll be delivering your presentation with confidence. Get feedback. Before presenting to a larger audience, practice with friends or colleagues to get feedback on your structure and content. Engage your audience, ask questions, involve them in the discussion, and keep their attention throughout the presentation. Using visual aids and body language. In today's lesson, we'll focus on two essential elements for delivering effective presentations: visual aids and body language. These tools not only support your message but also help you engage your audience, make your points clearer, and boost your confidence. Let's dive into how you can use PowerPoint effectively and leverage body language for a compelling presentation. PowerPoint tips and best practices. Keep slides simple and focused. Don't overload slides with text. Use minimal text and focus on key points. Use visuals to support your message. Charts, graphs, and images can convey information quickly and clearly. Follow the 6x6 rule, no more than 6 bullet points per slide, and no more than 6 words per bullet point. Use a consistent design, stick to a simple color scheme and readable fonts. Avoid using too many different colors or fonts. Example. In this slide, you can see a simple chart showing sales growth. Notice how the key points are highlighted, and there's minimal text on the slide. Visual consistency. Choose readable fonts. Sans serif fonts like Arial or Calibri are easiest to read on screens. Color contrast matters. Make sure there's good contrast between text and background for easy readability. Animations and transitions. Use subtle animations to reveal points as you speak, but avoid excessive movement that distracts from your message. Use visual aids to reinforce key messages. Infographics. These are great for summarizing complex information or showing data. Images and videos. Relevant visuals enhance engagement. Always ensure they support your message. Example. For example, I used a pie chart to show the distribution of market share among competitors. This visual aids the audience in quickly grasping the information. Body language and nonverbal communication. Gestures. Use hand gestures to emphasize points. Gestures help convey passion and make you appear more confident. However, keep them natural and not too exaggerated. Avoid distracting gestures, such as fidgeting or overly stiff movements. Your body language should align with your words to reinforce your message. Eye contact. Maintain eye contact with your audience to build rapport and keep them engaged. It shows confidence and helps establish a connection with listeners. Avoid staring at one person for too long or looking at the floor. Shift your gaze between different members of the audience. Eye contact also helps with remembering key points of your presentation. Posture. Stand upright with shoulders back. This posture exudes confidence and makes you appear more authoritative. Avoid slouching or crossing your arms. These body language cues can give the impression of discomfort or defensiveness. Facial expressions. Smiling can make you appear more approachable. It creates a friendly atmosphere and encourages engagement from the audience. Be aware of your expressions. They should reflect the tone of your message: serious, enthusiastic, thoughtful. Example. As I discuss the key points on the slide, I maintain eye contact with the audience and use hand gestures to emphasize important ideas. How to integrate visual aids and body language. Synchronize your words and gestures. Make sure your gestures align with what you're saying. If you're emphasizing a key point, your hands should help highlight that emphasis. Example, when explaining a growth trend, you can use hand gestures to show the upward movement, making it easier for your audience to visualize the point. Use visual aids to cue your speaking. Visuals should serve as prompts to help you stay on track. Refer to your slides when necessary, but don't read from them. Example, as shown in the graph, sales increased by 30% in the last quarter. Let's take a closer look at the factors driving this growth. Keep the audience engaged with body language. Move around the stage or room, if appropriate. Moving naturally can keep the audience's attention and make your presentation more dynamic. Example, if you're discussing a complex point, you might walk to the whiteboard or point to a visual aid to help clarify the concept. Maintain a conversational tone. Avoid speaking in a monotone voice. Use natural variation in your tone to keep things interesting. Engage the audience by asking questions or pausing for a moment of reflection. Activity, record your short presentation. Activity overview. It's time to put these tips into practice. In this exercise, you will record a short presentation using the techniques you've just learned. This will help you integrate both visual aids and body language into your delivery. Instructions. Choose a topic, select a topic related to your work or personal interests. The presentation should last about 2 to 3 minutes. Create visual aids, prepare a few slides, 3 to 5, that highlight key points. Use simple text, images, or charts to enhance your presentation. Record your presentation, focus on your body language and how you use your gestures, eye contact, and posture. Incorporate your slides effectively, referring to them when necessary. Evaluate your performance. After recording, watch the video and evaluate your performance. Focus on how well you synchronized your visual aids and body language. Whether your eye contact and gestures supported your message. How engaging and confident you appeared. Tip: you can share your recorded presentation with a peer or mentor for feedback, or even post it in the course's community for group feedback. Final tips for using visual aids and body language. Key takeaways. PowerPoint slides should be clear, simple, and aligned with your message. Use them to complement what you're saying, not to overwhelm your audience. Body language plays a crucial role in making your presentation more engaging. Use gestures, eye contact, and posture to reinforce your message and build a connection with your audience. Practice regularly to improve your delivery and become more confident in your use of both visual aids and body language. Additional tips. Engage with your audience, ask questions or encourage feedback to make your presentation interactive. Rehearse in front of a mirror or record yourself to observe and improve your gestures and body language. Handling questions with confidence. In today's lesson, we'll focus on one of the most crucial aspects of delivering an effective presentation: handling questions from your audience. Whether it's a Q&A session after your presentation or a discussion during a meeting, knowing how to answer questions confidently is key to maintaining authority and engagement. Let's explore strategies to manage questions with ease and professionalism. Strategies for answering questions. Listen carefully to the question. Don't interrupt the person asking the question. Give them the opportunity to finish before you respond. Clarify if needed. If you didn't fully understand the question, ask for clarification before answering. Paraphrase the question. This shows you're actively listening and gives you a moment to gather your thoughts. Example: that's a great question. So, if I understand correctly, you're asking about how our sales strategy will impact customer retention? Let me explain. Stay calm and composed. Take a moment to think before responding. If the question is difficult or unexpected, it's okay to pause for a few seconds. Keep your body language open. Don't cross your arms or look away, as this can seem defensive. Maintain a confident tone and avoid sounding uncertain, even if you're unsure about the answer. Keep your answer clear and concise. Focus on the main point. Avoid rambling or going off topic. Use simple language to ensure your answer is understandable, especially if you're explaining complex ideas. Provide examples if necessary to clarify your point. Be honest when you don't know the answer. It's okay to admit when you don't know something. It's better to be honest than to give a vague or incorrect answer. Offer to follow up with more information later or provide resources to answer the question fully. Example: that's a very insightful question, but I don't have the exact figures right now. I'll send you a detailed report after the meeting. Stay professional, even when faced with challenging questions. If a question is difficult or confrontational, remain calm and polite. Deflect negativity gracefully. If the question feels like a critique, respond with an opportunity for improvement rather than getting defensive. Example: I see your concern about the timeline. What we've done is assess the potential risks, and here's how we plan to address them. Techniques to handle different types of questions. Clarification questions. These questions seek more details or clarification of your points. They're an opportunity for you to reinforce your message. Answer with additional details or examples. Keep your response aligned with your main message. Example: could you clarify what you mean by scalable in your question? Sure. By scalable, I mean the ability of our software to handle a growing number of users without compromising performance. Challenging or critical questions. These questions may challenge your ideas or point out potential flaws in your argument. Acknowledge the concern and respond positively. This shows you value the feedback and can handle criticism professionally. Example: you mentioned that the project timeline is unrealistic. Let me explain the steps we've taken to ensure that we meet the deadlines despite potential delays. Hypothetical questions. These questions explore hypothetical situations, asking what might happen in the future. Provide a thoughtful response based on facts and realistic scenarios. If you're unsure, offer your best possible answer and acknowledge that things may change. Example: if we were to expand into new markets, we'd need additional resources. Based on our current strategy, we foresee needing more staff within the next 6 months. Personal or off-topic questions. Sometimes questions may not be directly related to the presentation, but instead about personal opinions or off-topic areas. Politely steer the conversation back to the topic without sounding dismissive. Example: that's an interesting point, but let's focus on the project details for now. Perhaps we can discuss this further afterward. Role-play Q&A session. Activity overview. Now that you've learned the strategies, it's time to practice. We're going to role-play a Q&A session, and you'll have the chance to answer a variety of questions based on a given scenario. Instructions. Choose a topic, pick a topic from your area of expertise, example a recent project, a product launch, etc. Prepare for the Q&A, think about potential questions the audience might ask. Write down 3 to 5 questions and prepare your answers. Role-play the session, record yourself answering these questions. Focus on listening and understanding the question. Keeping your answers clear and concise. Handling difficult questions with confidence. Managing your body language and tone. Tip: if you're practicing with a partner, have them ask you challenging questions to test your responses under pressure. Example questions. Can you explain why this project is taking longer than expected? How do you plan to reduce costs in the upcoming quarter? What makes your approach different from competitors? Evaluating your performance. Instructions for self-evaluation. Watch your recording and assess the following. Did you listen actively to the questions? Did you paraphrase or ask for clarification if needed? Did you stay calm and composed? How was your tone and body language? Were your answers clear and concise? Did you avoid rambling? How did you handle tough questions? Were you honest when you didn't know something? Seek feedback, if possible. Ask a colleague or friend to watch your video and provide feedback on your performance. Focus on how effectively you communicated and handled the questions. Final tips for handling questions. Key takeaways. Preparation is key. Anticipate potential questions and prepare answers ahead of time. Stay calm and collected, don't rush your responses. It's better to take a moment to think than to give a rushed, unclear answer. Maintain professionalism, always answer questions politely, even if they are challenging or uncomfortable. Use body language to reinforce your answers. Your posture, gestures, and eye contact can strengthen your message and convey confidence. Pronunciation and intonation tips. In this lesson, we'll focus on pronunciation and intonation, 2 key elements that can make a huge difference in how you are understood in business settings. Many non-native speakers face challenges with pronunciation, which can sometimes affect their clarity and confidence in communication. We'll explore some common pronunciation issues and offer practical tips to help you improve. Common pronunciation challenges. Vowel sounds. English has a large number of vowel sounds, some of which may not exist in other languages. Non-native speakers often struggle with distinguishing between these sounds. Common problem: mispronouncing vowels like ship vs. sheep or cot vs. caught. Tip: practice listening to minimal pairs, words that only differ by one sound, and repeat after native speakers to improve accuracy. For example, ship, short I, vs. sheep, long E. Bit vs. beat. Consonant sounds. English contains certain consonant sounds that are tricky for non-native speakers, such as th sounds in words like think and this. Common problem: replacing the th sound with an s or d sound, like pronouncing think as sink. Tip: focus on the position of your tongue when making the th sound. Place your tongue between your teeth and practice with words like thanks, though, and that. Ending sounds. Many languages don't emphasize ending consonants as much as English does. Non-native speakers may omit or soften them, leading to unclear pronunciation. Common problem: saying cap like ca or love like love. Tip: pay attention to the final consonants in words. Practice by emphasizing the last sounds in words like help, stop, and work. Intonation and stress. The importance of intonation. Intonation refers to the rise and fall of your voice while speaking. It's crucial for conveying meaning, especially in business communication. Common problem: a flat, monotonous tone can make your speech sound disinterested or unclear. Tip: practice stressing key words in sentences to change the meaning. For example, I didn't say he stole the money. Emphasizing different words changes the meaning. Did I say it? Did I say he stole it? Use rising intonation when asking questions, example, are you coming? Versus falling intonation for statements, you are coming. Sentence stress. In English, some words in a sentence are stressed more than others. Typically, content words, nouns, main verbs, adjectives, and adverbs, are stressed, while function words, prepositions, auxiliary verbs, pronouns, are not. Tip: practice the rhythm of English by identifying the content words in a sentence and stressing them. For example, she is going to the meeting tomorrow. Word stress in longer words. Some longer words have stress on a particular syllable. Misplacing the stress can make your speech sound less natural. Example: record, a noun, vs. record, a verb. Tip: focus on common word stress patterns. For example, most nouns have stress on the first syllable, example table, doctor, while many verbs have stress on the second syllable, example to become, relax. Activity: record and compare pronunciation exercises. Activity overview. Now, let's put the tips into practice. In this exercise, you'll focus on improving your pronunciation by recording yourself and comparing it to native speakers. We will focus on vowel sounds, consonant sounds, and sentence stress. Instructions. Choose a list of words with tricky pronunciation, example minimal pairs like bit/beat, cap/cab, think/sink. Listen to native speakers pronouncing these words. You can use resources like online dictionaries with audio or language learning platforms. Record yourself repeating the words and sentences. Compare your pronunciation with the native speaker's audio. Focus on specific sounds where you encounter difficulties, like the th sound, final consonants, or vowel length. Repeat the exercise multiple times until you feel confident with the correct pronunciation. Example words for practice. Minimal pairs. Caught versus caught. Thin versus this. Sit versus seat. Word stress. Record, noun, versus record, verb. Pretty versus pretty. Sentence stress practice. The meeting will be held tomorrow at 10 a.m. Please confirm if the report is ready by next week. Tip: focus on improving the sounds you find most difficult. If necessary, break them down into smaller chunks and work on them step by step. Pronunciation tools and resources. Use language apps for pronunciation practice. Many language learning apps, like Duolingo or Babbel, provide exercises focused on improving pronunciation. Recommendation: try the speech recognition feature on these apps to get feedback on your pronunciation. Online dictionaries with audio. Websites like Cambridge Dictionary and Merriam-Webster provide not only the pronunciation of words but also example sentences. Recommendation: use these resources to practice with both British and American English pronunciations. YouTube channels and podcasts. There are many resources on YouTube or podcasts dedicated to helping learners improve their pronunciation and intonation. Recommendation: search for channels like Rachel's English or English with Lucy to get tips on pronunciation for non-native speakers. Record and compare yourself. Continue recording your voice and comparing it with native speakers, as this is one of the most effective ways to track your improvement over time. Final tips for improving pronunciation. Practice regularly. Consistency is key. Try to incorporate short pronunciation practice sessions into your daily routine. Pay attention to native speakers. Listen to podcasts, business meetings, and presentations in English. Notice how native speakers use intonation, stress, and pronunciation patterns. Get feedback from others. If possible, ask a native speaker or teacher to listen to your pronunciation and offer constructive feedback. Be patient and persistent. Pronunciation improvement takes time. Stay motivated and keep practicing regularly to see results. Grammar and vocabulary traps. In this lesson, we're going to focus on common grammar and vocabulary traps that non-native speakers often encounter. These traps can sometimes cause confusion or misunderstandings in business communication. We'll cover frequent errors related to tenses, prepositions, and vocabulary, and we'll show you how to avoid them for clearer and more accurate communication. Common grammar mistakes. Confusing tenses. Tenses are crucial in English, and getting them right is essential for clarity, especially in business contexts. Non-native speakers often struggle with using the correct tense in different situations. Common mistake: using the wrong tense for actions that happened in the past or are happening now. For example, using the present tense when referring to something in the past. Example error. Incorrect: I am working on the report yesterday. Correct: I was working on the report yesterday. Tip: pay close attention to the time markers in your sentences. Words like yesterday, last week, already, tomorrow, and next will guide you to choose the correct tense. Practice differentiating between simple tenses, example present simple for routines, past simple for completed actions, and progressive tenses, example present continuous for ongoing actions. Misusing prepositions. Prepositions in English are tricky because they don't always match the prepositions in other languages. This can lead to errors, especially in business communication where precision is key. Common mistake: using the wrong preposition after certain verbs, adjectives, or nouns. Example error. Incorrect: I look forward to discuss the proposal. Correct: I look forward to discussing the proposal. Tip: common verb plus preposition combinations include interested in, good at, apologize for, and look forward to. Practice these and pay attention to how native speakers use them. For noun plus preposition combinations, remember phrases like access to or knowledge of. Vocabulary traps. False friends. False friends are words that look similar in two languages but have different meanings. Non-native speakers often confuse these words, leading to errors in communication. Example: in some languages, actual means current, but in English, actual means real or true. Example error. Incorrect: the actual situation is different from what we expected. In some languages, actual might be used for current or present. Correct, the current situation is different from what we expected. Tip: be aware of false friends between English and your native language. Make a list of the most common false friends and study them. Overusing certain words. Some words in English are commonly overused, especially in business contexts, but using them too much can make your communication sound repetitive or vague. Example: words like nice, good, or important are often used too frequently. Example error: incorrect, this is a nice idea. It's a good plan. It's very important. Correct, this is a great idea. It's an effective plan. It's crucial. Tip: try to use more specific and varied vocabulary. Replace vague words with more descriptive alternatives, such as effective, crucial, innovative, or efficient. Error correction activity. Activity overview. Now, let's put your learning into action. In this section, we'll look at some sentences with common grammar and vocabulary mistakes. Your task is to identify and correct these errors. Instructions. Identify the error in each sentence. Rewrite the sentence correctly using the appropriate tense, preposition, or vocabulary. Explain why the original sentence was incorrect. Example sentences for practice. I am sorry, I didn't send the report to you yet. Correct answer: I'm sorry, I haven't sent the report to you yet. Explanation: the present perfect tense, haven't sent, is needed because the action, sending the report, is related to the present moment. I look forward to discuss the new project next week. Correct answer: I look forward to discussing the new project next week. Explanation: after look forward to, we use the gerund, verb plus ing, not the infinitive form. The actual report will be sent to you tomorrow. Correct answer: the current report will be sent to you tomorrow. Explanation: the word actual in English means real or true, not current or present. We need to access on the new system immediately. Correct answer: we need to access the new system immediately. Explanation: access is a verb that does not need a preposition. The correct phrase is access the system. I will take care of this matter soonly. Correct answer: I will take care of this matter soon. Explanation: the word soonly does not exist in English. The correct adverb is soon. Common vocabulary mistakes and their solutions. Confusing borrow and lend. Common mistake: non-native speakers often confuse borrow, to take something from someone, and lend, to give something to someone. Example error: incorrect, can you lend me a pen? When the speaker wants to borrow a pen. Correct, can you borrow me a pen, should be can you lend me a pen. Tip: think of lend as giving, and borrow as receiving. Practice with sentences like I borrowed a book from her or she lent me a book. Overusing very and really. Common mistake: non-native speakers sometimes rely too much on words like very or really to intensify adjectives or adverbs. Example error: incorrect, this project is very important. Correct, this project is critical. Tip: instead of always using very or really, try to find more specific adjectives. For example, very big can become huge, or really good can become outstanding. Final tips for avoiding grammar and vocabulary traps. Read and listen to native content. Reading articles, books, or business reports, and listening to podcasts or webinars, can help you internalize correct grammar and vocabulary usage. This will expose you to professional and accurate language. Practice error-free writing. When writing, pay close attention to grammar and vocabulary. After drafting an email or report, proofread it to check for common errors, such as wrong prepositions, verb tense mistakes, or overused words. Use grammar tools and apps. Tools like Grammarly or Pro Writing Aid can help you spot and correct grammar and vocabulary mistakes. They provide real-time feedback, making them excellent resources for learners. Get feedback from native speakers or teachers. Ask for constructive feedback on your grammar and vocabulary usage, especially in professional contexts. This will help you identify areas for improvement and make corrections in real time. Building confidence in communication. In this lesson, we're going to focus on building your confidence in communication, especially when it comes to speaking in professional settings. Many non-native speakers struggle with the fear of making mistakes, which can hinder their ability to communicate effectively. We'll discuss strategies to overcome this fear and practice speaking impromptu with prompts to help you gain more confidence. Understanding the fear of making mistakes. Why fear of mistakes happens. It's natural to feel afraid of making mistakes, especially when speaking a second language. The fear of saying something incorrect or being misunderstood can make us hesitant to speak. Common concerns include fear of judgment from colleagues or clients, worry about being misunderstood or appearing unprofessional, anxiety about making grammatical errors or using the wrong vocabulary. The impact of fear. Speech anxiety. Fear can lead to hesitation, longer pauses, and sometimes even avoidance of speaking opportunities. Lack of participation. This fear often holds people back from participating in meetings or networking events. Missed opportunities. When you're afraid to speak, you miss out on chances to showcase your ideas and build relationships. Tip: embrace mistakes. Mistakes are a part of learning and growth. Native speakers make mistakes too. What's important is your ability to recover and keep communicating. Shift your mindset. Instead of focusing on what you might do wrong, shift your focus to sharing your ideas and adding value to the conversation. Strategies to overcome the fear of making mistakes. Practice makes perfect. The more you practice speaking, the less fear you'll have. This doesn't just mean formal practice but also casual conversations in English. Actionable tip: try setting small goals, such as speaking for 2 minutes every day on a random topic, even if it's just in front of a mirror. Focus on communication, not perfection. Language is about communication. Your goal is to get your message across, not to speak perfectly. Actionable tip: if you make a mistake, keep going. Most people won't even notice. If they do, they'll usually help you correct it kindly. Prepare for common situations. In business, you can often anticipate the kinds of conversations you'll be having. By preparing common phrases or answers, you'll feel more confident when the time comes. Example: prepare how to start and end a meeting, how to explain a complex idea, or how to respond to questions about a project. Accept feedback graciously. Rather than fearing corrections, view them as opportunities for growth. Constructive feedback will improve your communication skills and increase your confidence. Actionable tip: ask for feedback from a colleague, mentor, or teacher and focus on areas of improvement. Visualization. Visualize yourself succeeding in conversations and meetings. Imagining yourself speaking confidently helps reduce anxiety when the real situation arises. Actionable tip: before an important meeting, take a few moments to visualize yourself speaking confidently and handling any challenges smoothly. Impromptu speaking practice. Activity overview. Now, let's put theory into practice with an impromptu speaking activity. This activity will help you get more comfortable speaking on the spot, and it's designed to help you think quickly and build confidence in your speaking abilities. Instructions. I'll give you some prompts or questions. Your goal is to speak about the prompt for 1 to 2 minutes without overthinking or preparing too much. After speaking, I'll offer a brief reflection on how you did, highlighting strengths and areas to improve. Prompt 1. Describe your favorite business tool and why you find it useful. Take a moment to think, but keep it brief. Start by introducing the tool, then explain how it's helpful in your professional life. Prompt 2. Imagine you're giving a 30-second pitch for a product you love. How would you sell it to someone who's never heard of it? Focus on getting the key points across and making the product sound interesting. Don't worry about perfect phrasing. Prompt 3, share your thoughts on a recent project you worked on. What challenges did you face and how did you overcome them? Here, focus on expressing your thoughts clearly and confidently. Talk about the process and how you dealt with obstacles. Prompt 4, explain a complex concept in your field in simple terms for a non-expert audience. This test will help you think on your feet and practice simplifying your language for clarity, which is an important skill in business communication. Self-reflection and feedback. Review your speaking. After you've completed the impromptu speaking practice, review what you said. Did you feel confident? Were there moments where you stumbled? Reflect on areas where you could improve, such as vocabulary, sentence structure, or delivery. Self-assessment. Ask yourself the following questions. Did I communicate my idea clearly? Did I make too many hesitations or pauses? Was I able to recover smoothly after a mistake? Did I use simple language or get too complicated? Feedback from others. If possible, ask a friend, teacher, or colleague to listen to your impromptu speaking. They can provide constructive feedback on your performance and offer suggestions for improvement. Tip: even if you feel like you made mistakes, don't be too hard on yourself. The goal is to practice and improve, not to be perfect right away. Final tips for building confidence. Keep speaking. Confidence comes with consistent practice. Continue to engage in impromptu speaking exercises and real-life conversations, and over time, your confidence will grow. Celebrate small wins. Every time you speak in English and feel a little more confident, celebrate that achievement. Each step you take builds your language skills and your confidence. Join a public speaking or debate group. Consider joining a group like Toastmasters or a language exchange group where you can practice speaking in front of others and get feedback in a supportive environment. Focus on what you can control. You can control your preparation, attitude, and willingness to speak. Focus on these aspects, and remember that mistakes are part of the learning process. Tips for improving fluency. Practice regularly. Encourage learners to set aside 15 minutes daily to practice speaking or writing. Watch and mimic. Use videos or podcasts in English to improve listening and pronunciation skills. Expand vocabulary. Recommend apps or flashcards to learn 5 to 10 new business-related words daily. Peer practice. Join online forums or language exchange programs for real-time interaction. Tips for improving fluency in business English. Improving fluency in English, especially for business contexts, requires consistent practice, exposure, and interactive learning. Here are some effective strategies to help non-native speakers build confidence and fluency in business English. Practice regularly. Consistency is key. The more you practice, the more natural speaking or writing in English will feel. Set aside 15 minutes daily to practice. Speaking practice. Spend 7 to 10 minutes speaking on a business-related topic. This could be a quick summary of a news article, an update on a project, or a presentation of an idea. Writing practice. Write short business emails, summaries, or reports to practice structuring sentences and using business terminology. Tip: consider using a timer to stay on track, and try to challenge yourself to speak or write without pausing for too long to think. Over time, your fluency will improve. Watch and mimic. Exposure to native speech. Use videos or podcasts in English, especially those related to business topics, to improve both listening and pronunciation skills. Active listening. While watching a video or listening to a podcast, focus on how native speakers structure their sentences, use business jargon, and pronounce words. Mimic the speakers. Repeat what you hear in the same way. Try to match the speaker's tone, rhythm, and pace. This helps you with pronunciation and can also improve your overall fluency. Tip: choose videos that are at your current level of English and gradually move to more advanced material as you progress. Business-related content, like TED Talks or corporate webinars, is a great place to start. Expand vocabulary. Learn 5 to 10 new words daily. Learning new vocabulary is essential for fluency, especially when it comes to business terminology. Apps and flashcards. Use language learning apps, like Anki, Quizlet, or Memrise, to study 5 to 10 new business-related words each day. Include definitions, synonyms, and example sentences. Use new words. After learning new words, make an effort to incorporate them into your daily conversations or writing. The more you use new vocabulary, the more it becomes a natural part of your language. Tip: keep a vocabulary journal where you write down new words and their meanings. Review it regularly to reinforce your learning. Peer practice. Engage in real-time interaction. Join online forums or language exchange programs to practice your English with peers. Discussion groups. Participate in online business discussion groups, webinars, or professional networking sites like LinkedIn where you can engage in business discussions and share your ideas. Tip: set a goal to have at least one meaningful conversation per week with a native speaker or fellow learner. This real-time practice boosts your fluency and helps you apply your knowledge in a business context. Record and self-assess. Monitor your progress. Record yourself speaking on business topics or reading business news articles aloud. Listen back and evaluate your pronunciation, fluency, and overall delivery. Identify areas for improvement. Pay attention to your weaknesses, example vocabulary gaps, pronunciation errors, hesitations, and focus on improving those areas. Track your growth. As you continue to practice, you'll notice how much more confident and fluent you become over time. Improving fluency is a gradual process that requires consistent effort and the right mindset. By incorporating these tips: regular practice, listening and mimicking, expanding vocabulary, peer practice, and self-assessment, you'll be able to speak and write more confidently and effectively in business settings. With dedication, you'll see noticeable improvements in your fluency over time.